So after watching my last video on understanding conversion rates linked below, you're a little bummed out thinking your conversion rates should be higher and you're thinking about overhauling your products or lowering your price. Well, just slow down. Those are the last two things you should be doing. I'm going to give you 3 things that you can do that might boost that conversion rate and get you more sales and more income. Hello everyone, my name is Sherry from Rolling Acres Education. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if this is not your first time. Now today we're going to look at those other 2 conversion rates, and there are 3 things that you can do that can help bring that overall conversion rate up, and we're going to use your views, previews, and sold numbers to decide which of those things, or maybe all of them, that you need to work on. Now if you go to your dashboard and click on your product statistics, you are going to get a lot of information. If you've never done this before, you're going to be like, wow, okay? You're going to have all your products, how many times each one's been viewed, how many times your previews have been viewed, how many times it's been wish listed, and your conversion rates and other information. But today we want to look at 3 things. We want to look at your page views, your previews, and your sold. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to look at your previews for a certain product, and you're going to divide it by your page views. Remember, when someone clicks on your cover, you get a page view. And when they click on your cover, they're going to see some new information. They're going to see 3 thumbnails and your description. So the first thing you can do if your views to previews is low is you can improve your thumbnails. Now, what can you do to improve your thumbnails? A lot of things. But here's something you can think about to get you started. If you had to tell someone 3 things about your product, what would you tell them? If you were trying to sell them your product and you were going to tell them 3 things, make each one of those a thumbnail. For me, just briefly, mine has an instructional component, but it's self-instruction. It has differentiation, and it has fast finishers. I make each one of those a thumbnail, and then I put some examples in each thumbnail. Now, we're not going to go into a lot of detail, research how to improve your thumbnails, and I'll do videos later, but I like to keep my videos short, so I don't want to go into that right now. But research how to improve your thumbnails and really make the best thumbnail that you can make. Tip number 2 is improve your description. Again, research improving descriptions for your teachers pay teachers products or something like that, and learn how to write really good descriptions. Quick tip, put all your information in there, but make sure you are highlighting the most important information with bullets, bold-faced, and italics, whatever you need to do to make certain things stand out, so if your teacher customer is in a hurry, they can skim through and see what it is that you think is most important that they should know. Okay, again, research how to do good thumbnails and how to do good descriptions. I'll do videos later, but those are the 2 things that can improve your page views to previews conversion rates. Okay, so remember, you're going to divide your previews by your page views, and what should a good number be? There is not a lot of information out there about that, okay? As a matter of fact, when I first started doing this on my own, before anybody even told me I needed to, I didn't have any idea, and thankfully my coach, Lauren, did have some information in some things she had, and then I think some other people, but not very many people have I read. So this is just going to be my opinion based on my experience and what I've heard some other people say, and that is 33%. You should want at least 33% of people who are clicking on your page to click on your preview. Now, it's possible that someone could click on your cover and go straight to checkout, and that's awesome, okay? But at least 1 in 3 people should be looking at your preview once they click on your cover. Now, me personally, I like mine to be 50%, but remember, if you watch my last video, I have kind of an I don't care product, meaning it's not that they don't want it to be good, but it's not that they care so much about what it's teaching and what kind of activities, as long as the students are learning something and they're staying busy and they're sub or them, if they're trying to get work done, is not going to have to be constantly working with the students or having something that's difficult for the students to understand. And so if it does that, they don't care, they're going to take it. But if you've got something more specific that a teacher's looking for something to do an exact type of thing, yours might be lower. Even I've heard even 25% is okay, but you should shoot for that 33% and definitely not below 25%, okay? If it's below 25, you really need to get that up, okay? So number 1, improve your thumbnails. Number 2, improve your descriptions. Number 3 comes from your previews to sold page, okay? Now this is where they're going to look at your preview. If you do not have a preview, get one, because there are people, I've heard several people say that a lot of people will not look, even think about buying a product if there's not a preview. Your preview is going to be that final hook to really let that customer know what's in your product. Not necessarily everything, but what is your product about, what is it going to do, and how is it going to help them. If someone clicks on your preview and does not buy your product, either it's still not exactly what they were looking for, else they still don't really understand what your product is. And if that's the case, you really need to work on your preview. You need to make sure that after they've seen your preview, they know what they're getting within reason. And number 3, that your product's just not really good, okay? Now, sorry, that's a little tough love. That's a possibility, okay? I had products in the beginning that were not good. I've got some products right now in my store that are not good, okay? You will learn how to make better products and go back and improve those products. If they're not good, you can improve them, okay? So remember, you need to make sure that your customer knows what your product is about. Now, how do you make a good preview? There are several different ways people do this. There's even video previews, but I've heard even if you have video previews, I don't have any, that you should also still do a PDF or something like that, some type of preview that the person can see. All right. Now, I have heard people be critical of the type of previews I do, but they work for me. My previews to sold conversion rate is over 50%, and basically I do PDFs, I download my PDF, I put my watermark over it, and that works for me because it's important for me for someone to see how many different things are in mine, because they're wanting to make sure students are going to have enough to stay busy. So it's important for me to know, for them to know, hey, there's a lot of stuff here, okay? That's what I do. I'm not going to change it because it works for me. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Now, one of the criticisms I've heard is that if you do that, people can see your work well enough to steal it. Now, you've got a watermark over it, and if you have a watermark over yours, make sure it's not completely covering it to they can't even tell what it is. But they say if you do that, even with the watermark, they can see enough to copy your work. Well, I can't lose sleep over that, okay? If they're doing that, then if my products are priced low, if they would rather go through all that work than to just click on my product and buy it, have at it, okay? I just can't lose sleep over that. I can't making previews harder for me just to keep some people from doing that. So I'm going to stick with what I have, but when I do a video on previews, I'm going to share with you how other people do previews so you can pick the one you like, okay? What is a good previews to views, to sold conversion rate? One thing I want you to think about is once a person's gone this far, they want to buy your product because they've invested time in it and they don't want that time to be wasted, and they definitely don't want to have to start over and look at someone else's. So you've got that on your side. So if you've got a real good preview and you've got a good product, they're probably going to buy it. My views to previews are previews to sold are, they're over 50%. Again, I've told why. I've heard for this one 25% because that's the final, we're going to click on this and buy it. Again, all those other things go into it. Your price, it's going to be a lot easier for someone to click on a $3 product than a $30 product. If you have a higher priced product, 25%, a really low priced product, I would say you want 50%, because if it's just a few dollars and they've gone this far, they're probably going to purchase it, okay? So if they're not purchasing a lower priced product, you need to see what's going on. Is it my preview or is it my product, okay? So remember, before you lower those prices or make a lot of changes to your product, improve your thumbnails, improve your descriptions, and improve your previews. And in the next video, I decided to make this 3 because you need to know, if you have a bunch of products, what do you do? Which one do I start with? Do I completely quit creating products and just go to improving my products? What do I do? Well, we'll look at that in the next video. But remember, you've got this, God's got you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.